Getting rejected from a job you really wanted is much different than a regular rejection. It's not just that it didn't work out, it's the thing you pictured yourself doing that isn't happening, and that's a real loss. And even though it can feel a little bit silly to grieve a job that you never actually had, it's important to do that. I'm Paula Christensen, a certified professional resume writer and interview coach. I've had my business strategic career coaches for 11 years, and I've sat with a lot of clients right after this exact moment. Here's what helps. First, let yourself feel it briefly. You're allowed to be disappointed. Don't skip that step. If you do, it sometimes will bleed into that next interview. So you want to give it a container, give it a period of time, a weekend or a week or whatever feels reasonable. Then make a conscious effort to move forward. Second is ask for feedback, even though it feels uncomfortable. Not every company will give it to you, but many will if you ask politely and directly. Something simple like, I really appreciated the opportunity. If you're able to share any feedback about where I fell short, I would value that for some of my future interviews going forward. Even a small piece of feedback can tell you whether it was just a fit or a specific gap, or generally something that you did wrong in the interview. Third is to separate the company from the fantasy that you built around it. A lot of the pain of a dream job and that rejection involved there isn't really about the company. It's more about that version that you conjured up. That new title, the better boss, the less of a commute. Losing that imagined future hurts more than losing the actual job, since you never had the actual job to begin with. So if you name these things, it tends to kind of shrink the disappointment down to something more manageable. If it really is about the commute, okay, that's great. You can still get a job with less commute. Fourth is to remember that dream job that you conjured up, you assigned that status before you had all the information. You never really actually worked there. So you didn't see the internal politics, the day-to-day working, your manager's real style, or the team dynamics. So sometimes a rejection from a job that you were sure would turn out a year later didn't. So it can be a blessing in disguise. Fifth is to keep your pipeline moving. This is probably too important to list it as number 5. But if you've paused your other opportunities while you were deep in the process with this one company, now's the time to pick that up. Momentum is usually the fastest way to get through a rejection like this, and it gives you somewhere to redirect your energy. A dream job rejection feels really final in the moment, but it rarely is. Most people who look back on this a year from now can name that thing, that a really cool thing that came out of this opportunity that didn't happen. So there might be something out there for you that you haven't even pictured yet. Good luck.